Hey, what's up, creatives and worship team and musicians and singers and all the most talented people I know. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Hey, I hope you can catch the vision for what I'm about to announce to you, because I think there's something super exciting going on here at Brandon that I want you to be a part of. I want to be able to let you get the information first as leaders in our church. I want to do you the honor of that, and also make sure we're on board and we can plan this thing accordingly, because as you have probably seen, if you've been at our church very long at all, if you've seen anything at all, you know that 9:30 service is usually full. And when I say full, there's about an 80% rule, 75 to 80%. Once it reaches that mark, it's full, and it just starts to get a little, because nobody wants to sit arm in arm next to people they don't know. And even if you do know them, sometimes you don't want to sit arm in arm next to that person. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, you do want to save some room, and you want about 20 to 25% of the church open for guests and stuff to come in. And so the 9:30 service has been that way for a long time. The 11 o'clock service is beyond that. As you oftentimes see, the 11 o'clock is packed beyond the gills. In the last few months, it's been even more so, and that is a great challenge to have. I talk to pastors all the time. They can't get people to come to our church, and we got too many coming to our church in one service. And so we're trying to figure out what we can do about that. In fact, we've had an issue with the last few months, where a lot of times during worship, and I don't know if you can see this from the stage for you guys who are in the 11 o'clock worship team, but during the 11 o'clock worship experience, a lot of times people can't see seats, because when they're standing up, you can't spot the few empty seats that might be there. And so ushers are trying to bring people in and escort them to the seats. We've had to separate families, like visiting guest families that might have 5 in their family. We've got to put 3 over here and 2 over here, which is obviously not the best environment for attracting people to our church and creating the best environment for them. And we believe that we want people to experience God, and therefore we got to figure out how to take some of the pressure off of that 11 a.m. service and the 9:30 really, but mainly the 11. Take some of the pressure off, because the 9:30 and 11 are our biggest evangelism opportunities in the church. That's when most of our guests are going to be showing up in the church. And so this is what we have come to, and I am so excited about it. We are starting something on October the 4th called Sunday Night Live at 5. Say it with me, Sunday Night Live at 5. It just rings off your tongue, doesn't it? It's just like catchy. And we get to thank Josh Cunningham for that. That was his idea. But we're doing Sunday Night Live at 5. It's going to be a blast. We are going to do a 4th service. So not just 8, not just 9:30, not just 11. We're going to add in a 5 o'clock service, and it's going to have a different flair to it, a little different than what it's been before. And this is why I specifically wanted to talk to you, because this is what we're going to do, because we don't want to wear anybody out. People already are so tired. They're so worn out. We don't want to wear people out. We are going to create an 8 o'clock worship team that's just for the 8 o'clock service. Pastor Kyle is going to lead that. Woohoo! So we're going to get to see his amazing voice and his amazing guitar playing in the 8 o'clock service. So there'll be an 8 o'clock worship team that's primarily only during the 8 o'clock. Then we're going to have a 9:30 and 11 o'clock worship team that's primarily just 9:30 and 11. So every Sunday, the 9:30 and 11 team would play, and you can come to the 9:30 and then leave in the 11. Or however you like to do that. But 9:30 and 11 would be one worship team. So you got 2 there. Pastor Brad's still leading 9:30 and 11. And then we're going to come back at 5 o'clock and do a 5 o'clock worship team that Pastor Brad's going to lead as well. So we're going to create 3 different worship teams. Now, I realize it might not be perfect, especially not at first, and we might have to borrow from people here and there. But ideally, we got 3 different drummers, 3 different bass players, 3 different guitar players, 3 different sets of singers. We have 3 completely different teams between 8 o'clock, 9:30 and 11, and then the 5 o'clock service. And so it's going to look a lot different. The 5 o'clock service is going to be a blast. We are catering it to the young adult, the college crowd. Now, I kind of feel like I get to go back to my youth ministry days. Well, I'll preach the same sermon, but it'll have a different flair to it towards the college crowd. We'll do the same worship set, but it's just going to have a different flair to it because we're with the college crowd. We are going to have some food when you walk in. When you first walk in, there might be pizza or chicken wings or muffins or donuts or I don't know. But we're going to have some kind of food whenever you walk in. Obviously, coffee. Can't have church without coffee, right? So we're obviously going to have coffee when you walk in. We're going to put at least right now during football seasons, we're going to put the football games on the TV when you walk in. So that would be playing. Just a different atmosphere, very casual. As the pastor, I'll probably just wear t-shirt and jeans or maybe a dress shirt and jeans. I don't know, but just very casual, however I feel, to be honest. And just a very different atmosphere, very much a worship party, a fun, exciting. I think it's going to be really good. A next generation feel and dress. And I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. We're going to try to bring some people into the 5 o'clock by only offering the transit middle school at 5 o'clock. So the only time transit can come would be 5 o'clock, the first and third Sundays of the month. So anyway, so that's what I wanted to be able to cast the vision for you. The why behind this, the vision behind this is this. We want to reach more people with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Our church is here because we want to help people experience God. When the church is packed to the gills and crowded and hot, you guys know how hot it gets, especially in the summer months in the 11 o'clock service, and you got to sit next to strangers like this, it doesn't create the best atmosphere to help people experience God. Certainly God can move no matter what, but when you're packed like that, your attention tends to get focused on all kinds of things and frustrations rather than on God. We want to take 50 to 100 people out of that 11 o'clock service, or 9:30 and 11, but into the 5 o'clock Sunday Night Live at 5 service. And so that's our goal. That's what we're doing. We're going to do it for 2 months. We're going to start October the 4th. Just think this, the 4th on 4th. Catchy, right? You get that? We're doing the 4th service on the 4th of the month. That's when it starts, October 4th. You could also say 10-4, like 10-4, good buddy. The 4th on 4th. 4th on 4th. 4th service starts on the 4th. That's when it's going to start. And then we're going to do it until December. And in December, we're going to assess it and see how it's going. We're not just going to lock ourselves into this if it doesn't work, but we believe it is going to work. But we're going to assess it in December, and if nobody's showing up, if it doesn't have the right attitude, the right energy that we want, if it's not really taking some of the pressure off the 11 and 9:30, then we won't keep doing it. We're not just locking ourselves in, but this is a something that we believe is going to be powerful, impactful. I am super excited about it. If you can't tell, I feel like I get to go hang out with the young people because I still feel like I'm young sometimes, and I get to hang out with the college crowd, and it's going to be an absolute blast. So that being said, I'm going to hand it off to Pastor Brad and Pastor Kyle to kind of pick teams, so to speak, and talk about what's going on and pick the worship teams, see who can volunteer in which areas. But thank you guys so much for leading in worship. I realize that it is a big undertaking. Also, I should mention that when we move into the new building, we would not keep doing the 5 o'clock the way it is now. The 5 o'clock then would become the college service again. At least that's the plan right now. So it kind of gives a kickoff to the college service, helps spark them, helps continue to explode them out into what God wants to do with the Emerge service as well. So anyway, so I'm so excited about it. Thank you so much for all you do as a worship team, and God bless you. I appreciate you more than words can say. You guys are awesome and so talented, and I could keep talking and talking and talking, but I'll stop and just say, love you guys. God bless you.